The job market has taken a dramatic turn over the past 6 months, and if you're a young worker, especially a young man just starting out, it might feel like you've been thrown straight from the frying pan into the fire. Back in 2024, employees were busy navigating a peculiar set of workplace challenges: ghost jobs, quiet firing, career cushioning, invisible overtime, digital downsizing, compensation compression, burnout attrition, the list goes on. Layoffs, rolling or otherwise, were still a concern, but there was a certain predictability. Today, however, the landscape has shifted so dramatically that even the corporate buzzwords have been refreshed. New trends are reshaping how people find work, keep it, and grow their careers, often in ways that are unsettling, particularly for young men entering the workforce for the first time. Recent economic data paints a stark picture. For the first time in modern memory, unemployment among young male college graduates has reached parity with that of men who didn't attend college. The proportion of first-time job seekers is now at its highest point since 1988, and job mobility has all but frozen. At first glance, the headline unemployment rate may seem acceptable, but that can be misleading. It's not just about being unemployed, it's about the quality of jobs available, the career trajectory they offer, and whether the skills you spent years developing are actually paying off. And if that wasn't bad enough, some unexpected career paths like art history are sometimes yielding higher salaries than degrees in fields previously considered recession-proof, such as computer science. Many recent graduates are feeling the sting. The once reliable promise of a college degree has begun to feel uncertain. While society lauds earning a degree as a major milestone, the reality is that the financial and professional payoff is increasingly nuanced. Graduates are discovering that the long-term earning potential of a degree may not always outweigh the upfront costs: tuition, living expenses, and increasingly student debt. The traditional advice of pursuing a degree as a guaranteed ticket to economic security is no longer ironclad. In fact, the trend over the last decade suggests that in some cases, entering the workforce without a degree may carry comparable risks and sometimes even similar rewards, at least in terms of unemployment statistics. Historically, young graduates targeted booming industries as safe harbors for their career aspirations. For decades, analysts have used Ivy League enrollment patterns as a barometer for future job market instability. Before the 1980s oil crisis, oil and gas drew top graduates. Before the Asian financial crisis, outsourcing operations surged. The dot-com era lured new grads into early technology, and just before the global financial crisis, finance was the prime destination. Over the last decade, big tech captured the attention of high-earning, ambitious graduates. The pattern is clear. Boom industries attract highly skilled talent, but no sector can maintain its explosive growth forever. Once the market saturates, graduates often find themselves overqualified for roles that no longer exist, or facing job insecurity when a once hot industry cools. This cycle of shifting opportunities explains a lot about today's graduate unemployment landscape. For years, the advice was simple: if you lose a factory job, learn to code. Before that, the mantra was get an MBA. Right after the dot-com bust, business schools experienced record enrollment spikes as people hoped advanced degrees would rescue stalling careers. Today, the data shows that college enrollment may not guarantee the same security it once did. Recent statistics reveal that unemployment rates for graduates and non-graduates are now virtually identical, a startling shift, though not a complete indictment of higher education. It's crucial to understand a few nuances here. Equal unemployment rates do not necessarily mean equal earnings. Even if a similar share of graduates and non-graduates is unemployed at any given moment, college graduates generally command higher wages once employed. Engineers, for example, will still earn more than unskilled laborers even during economic stagnation. Furthermore, the unemployment rate itself is only a snapshot. It counts only those actively seeking work. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, roughly 72% of individuals with a bachelor's degree or higher are actively employed or job hunting, compared with just 56% of high school graduates. While this engagement is declining slightly, it still underscores the continued value of higher education in maintaining labor force participation. Still, there's a growing recognition that the financial math of higher education is shifting. Degrees are expensive, and lifetime earnings projections may no longer fully offset the costs for some students.
Early career income without debt sometimes can be preferable to higher earnings later in life burdened with student loans. This reality is becoming increasingly relevant as the payoff horizon for college degrees lengthens to 40 or 50 years, raising serious questions about the return on investment. Another dimension of the current employment challenge is gendered. While male graduate unemployment has risen, women with college degrees continue to experience lower than historic unemployment rates, widening the gap between male and female outcomes in the labor market. This disparity highlights broader structural shifts in how gender and career intersect today. So, what's driving these differences? Several factors stand out. First, decades of initiatives to increase female participation in traditionally male-dominated fields like STEM and business management have been highly successful. Women now compete on a much broader playing field, increasing overall competition in these sectors. Meanwhile, male-dominated roles that do not require degrees, such as trade and labor positions, haven't seen the same influx, meaning competition has remained relatively stable. Historically, male graduates had an unemployment rate of about 5%, while male non-graduates faced roughly 6%. Female college graduates, however, maintained unemployment around 3%, with non-graduates again at 6%. These numbers illustrate the widening gap over time. Cultural norms and social perceptions also play a role. While women pursuing engineering or executive roles are often celebrated as empowered, men entering traditionally female-dominated fields like nursing or early childhood education still face lingering stigmas. These biases influence both career choice and job market dynamics, even as societal attitudes slowly evolve. Additionally, historically, these roles paid less, which often made them less attractive to men who prioritized higher salaries, either for family support or personal ambition. Despite these dynamics, today, male-dominated prestige sectors are seeing slower growth, while traditionally female-dominated fields, like healthcare, are increasingly stable and even lucrative. Men entering these sectors can benefit from what researchers call the glass elevator effect, rapid career progression facilitated by being a minority in a female-dominated field. Over time, this progression can offset initially lower salaries, sometimes even surpassing earnings in traditionally male-dominated industries. Job mobility trends further complicate the picture. Historically, changing jobs every few years could significantly boost career earnings. Over the last year, however, the benefit of job hopping has declined sharply. With hiring slowing and layoffs looming, workers increasingly opt to stay put, even avoiding opportunities for promotion or higher pay that could expose them to risk. This behavior, known as job hugging, reflects a broader market caution. Stability and security are now prioritized over aggressive career growth. Ironically, those who previously pursued less lucrative but more stable roles, often arts graduates, are now better positioned to weather market volatility due to their risk-averse approach and proficiency in their roles. Women, however, face different dynamics in this environment. When layoffs occur in booming sectors like technology, women are often disproportionately affected. Recent studies show women accounted for 44% of tech layoffs, while representing only 28% of the workforce. Several factors contribute. Gendered departmental segregation, women are often concentrated in HR, marketing, and corporate support, which are more vulnerable in downsizing, cultural assumptions about family support, and biases in performance evaluations that can disadvantage women in high-performing roles. Companies that emphasize diversity over purely meritocratic hiring may inadvertently set up some employees to be more vulnerable during performance-based cuts. The takeaway here isn't that women are failing or men are succeeding, it's that structural dynamics, cultural expectations, and industry trends intersect in ways that create unequal outcomes. For young men navigating today's workforce, the data suggests that non-traditional choices like pursuing healthcare or education may offer stability, opportunities for advancement, and long-term financial upside. For women, understanding the nuances of industry risk, departmental vulnerability, and career progression is key to strategic planning. Ultimately, the evolving job market requires a new level of awareness and adaptability. Traditional advice, get a degree, follow the trend, job hop aggressively, no longer guarantees success. Instead, success increasingly depends on understanding broader market trends, cultural dynamics, and individual career strategy. Staying informed, seeking opportunities in growing but stable sectors, and balancing risk and reward are essential for navigating the uncertainty. In today's job market, success is less about credentials and more about strategy, adaptability, and understanding economic trends. Graduates need to weigh early earnings against debt, explore stable or undervalued industries, and develop specialized skills. Men may find opportunities in traditionally female-dominated fields, while women must navigate career risks strategically. Long-term planning, informed decision-making, and flexibility are now essential for building a secure career. The path may not follow traditional expectations, but those who adapt will thrive. Stay informed and ahead. Subscribe for more insights on navigating today's evolving workplace.